Here's a method for getting ChatGPT to accurately create legal documents for you. If you run a business, you often have to create legal documents like agreements and contracts. And hiring a lawyer or solicitor is extremely expensive, especially if it's a new business. You can get ChatGPT to help you here, but you have to be very careful and use a very specific method so that you don't end up with a bad document. Because having a bad contract is going to be painful down the line. So what you're going to do is use an interview technique in order to gather up the information. You're going to tell ChatGPT to act as a legal advisor and to ask you questions in order to prepare a certain document. For example, if I'm hiring a freelancer and I want to create a freelancer contract, I will say to ChatGPT, act as a legal expert and ask me questions in order to gather information to write a freelancer contract. What this is going to do is put ChatGPT into interview mode, and it's going to ask you all the things it needs in order to be able to create a good legal document. This is very different from just saying to ChatGPT, create a freelancer agreement. That's going to be very generic and boilerplate and not good enough for what we need. By asking ChatGPT to first interview us, it's going to collect up all the information it needs to make this a legitimately useful document. But we don't stop here. Once we've created the first draft of our document, we're going to take that over into a second window, copy and paste it in your legal document, and say to ChatGPT, act as a legal expert and find errors and problems within this legal document. ChatGPT is going to go through it and it's going to review it as a legal expert from the other side. And it's going to pick out things that are missing in your document, for example. You can also get ChatGPT to take on the role of either party in the agreement in order to come up with ideas of things that will be objectionable within the contract. So you'd say, act as the signing party of the contract. What would you find objectionable and what type of changes would you like? And this becomes really useful when it goes into negotiations because you already know what the other person on the other side of the table is thinking, plus what you should be looking out for yourself. Once you've done all of this and you've added the refinements, you're going to have a pretty good looking legal document. At this point, depending on the importance of the document, you can then take it to a lawyer or a solicitor and have them do the final checks and approve it. By doing so, instead of hiring them for 10 plus hours of their time to create something from scratch, you're giving them something that you have already got into a pretty good shape and they're going to spend an hour or two finalizing it. Honestly, when you work with a lawyer or a solicitor, a lot of their stuff is boilerplate anyway, so you are just doing that work yourself with ChatGPT and then having them sign it off. I've done this myself with agreements that I've had with large companies, and their legal department has not found any issues with the documents created by ChatGPT. So this is a really good way to keep your costs down when you are starting up a business and you need legal documentation in place. Just make sure you follow through all of these steps and you pay attention. So you do interviewing and then you have ChatGPT analyze and criticize your agreement as well. As always, don't just take the first draft.